Hey everyone, Faded Angelos here, coming at you with another build guide video for Carino. This time we're doing an electrifying shot cast on crits. As you can see, it's a pretty respectable DPS on the screen. I'm only level 69. I wanted to get this build guide out for you guys because I know there's not much time left in the closed beta test until it's over. So without any further delay, let me go ahead and jump right into it. First, we're going to start off with the talent tree. So I decided to start off using the talent tree, starting with the Goddess of Hunting. It's going to be, the Goddess of Hunting. The very first one you're going to choose, Goddess of Hunting at the top. And then you're going to max out the damage nodes right here for 60% damage. Then right here for 60% lightning damage. So if you're using lightning shot, it converts 50% of your damage to lightning right there, just as the skill tree, or just as the skill on a skill itself, or electrifying shot. So that already, you're looking at 120% damage boost right there. And then next you're going to want to pick up a cast and attack speed. Then you're going to want to run straight over and get dexterity with the damage node. And then you want to get percentage dexterity increase with damage right afterwards. This will help a lot when you're scaling dex because the next couple trees will have really juicy nodes for you to take. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and take attack speed, get the critical attack strike rating, and additional attack speed on recent critical strike. And then from there, that should be all 20 points. So you're going to want to grab Perception for more attack and cast speed, and then you'll be able to scale your attack and cast speed indefinitely as long as you're scaling Dexterity. And then the second one, you're going to want to actually choose Flash of Brilliance. This is so much better than Rush. I don't know how they gauge 5 meters, but it is not, you'd never see this buff pop up. So you're better off getting Agility Blessing, which when you use one of the skills, you'll actually get a stack of Agility Blessing automatically, and there's a way we're going to actually upkeep our Agility Blessing to where there's close to 100% upkeep time on it. All right, so that's it for the first one. The next one we're going to run into is we're going to go ahead and go Blade Runner. And this will be for lightning damage. So 60% lightning damage there. The minion lightning damage you don't need to worry about. That's just kind of an added bonus. Then more attack speed, 20% there. You're going to get critical strike rating here with critical strike rating and more damage. Then you're going to get damage again here. And then this one's a godsend. You want this 5 mana restored on hit. The reason being, you're going to be hitting a lot, and cast on crit is going to be using up your mana a lot. So this will help you upkeep your mana enough to actually keep casting those spells on crit. Next, you're going to want to run the lightning damage, and this lightning damage, and then you're going to want to take the conversion as well. So you want to convert 50% of your physical damage to lightning damage automatically right there. The reason being, you'll see why here in a second, but it's going to scale really well with the damage that we're trying to run. And this is to help us upkeep our Agility Blessing. The Agility Blessing gives you 6% attack, cast, and movement speed, and it can stack up to 4 times. So this will help us keep it up, and then we also get a bonus here. So you'll get 30% instead of capping out at 24, which is really good. And then from here, you're going to want to take Dexterity right here, and then you're going to want to take this one, the 1% lightning damage increase per 10 Dexterity. So this is why you want to start looking into stacking dex as much as you can. When you take this node, you'll see the damage increase. Then you want to get the flat damage to attacks and spells. You don't need to worry about the minions. That's just a bonus. And then you're going to take 8% lightning piercing for critical strikes. Since we're going cast on crit, it's going to actually pierce damage. 8% of it will pierce. Then you want to grab multi-strike right there. then additional attack speed when you multi-strike, and then multi-strikes deal 10% increased damage right there. So all in all, you should be looking at, that should be your 37 points. It will be one more than you should put into it. Also, you will come back here once you actually get your third node complete and pick up the more lightning damage here at the very bottom. Okay, and then for these, you're going to take transition, 50% chance for a lightning skill to deal 75% critical strike damage, bonus critical strike damage when using it. Then 25% for a lightning skill to do more. Since we're going to be critting, you're going to want this because this is going to get you some really juicy crits. Okay, and then the next one we're going to take is actually quick advancement. Because you will be multi-striking, so you want to have your multi-strikes do even more damage. So you can look into waiting attack to consume all your agility blessings. I wouldn't recommend it. I like zooming, so it depends on your playstyle. All right, and then the last one you're going to take is Marksman. And as you can see, I'm still leveling, so I don't have this completely pathed out, but how I'd recommend you do it is projectile damage, because that will scale with your main skill because it is a projectile, so that will do more damage, and it won't choose lightning or physical damage. It's actually going to scale both because it's scaling projectile. And then that's going to be a total of 60% lightning or projectile damage right there. Then you get the attack and cast speed. You're going to want to get this dexterity right here, and then get this 1% evasion per 20 dexterity. Another reason you should be stacking dexterity at this point, because this will give you a huge defensive layer. And then you're going to want to grab this crit. Then from there, you're going to actually go... I haven't looked too much farther into this. Okay, so once you're done with this, you should have enough points. This will light up, so you're going to grab ranged attack and multi-strike for ranged attacks. So that will be another 4 points. That'll put you at 19, which this should light up next. So and then you're going to want projectile damage. Then you're going to take the skill level because you want to get to the parabolic projectile split. So that's going to actually make your initial hit split off and make more hits. So it's going to give you a lot more damage. And then you can choose to get projectile speed just to unlock this. So you can have 2 stacks of horizontal projectile piercings. You won't need it for your primary skills, so I wouldn't recommend it unless you're running something else. And then if you want another defensive layer, you can grab that. Otherwise, even then, you won't even need this talent either. So once you get this all completely filled out, this is optional. Everything else is just kind of, yeah, everything else you really wouldn't want to bother with. Yeah. So you're going to actually run back to the Goddess of Hunting and get this last boost to a lightning damage. And then you can also pick up this as well to get 25% conversion to lightning damage. And the extra shock does 1 more damage on hit, or 1 more time of damage on hit. So then for the soul or the specialization talents up at the top, you're going to want this Euphoria, hands down, because you're going to have 6 agility blessing stacks, so that's going to give you 30% bonus evasion for agility stacks, and mind you, it's also going to give you 36% attack speed, cast speed, and movement speed. So you're going to grab that one, and then for the last one, now this one you actually... This one, it looks like you're just going to go ahead and go with 2 projectiles, so you can drop multiple projectiles on your skill. So that way you just have the bonus 2 projectiles without any downsides, which will help with clear. So that's what you're going to do there. Okay, so now that we've gone through the talents, let's go ahead and go with the skills that I decided after testing quite a bit on stream and offline, what has been working very well for me. So you start off with Lightning Shot because you won't have Electrifying Shot. But then you're going to switch over to Electrifying Shot. The reason being is Electrifying Shot is just a better overall skill. It scales better with weapon attack damage, converts 50% of the skill's physical damage to lightning damage, also gives a chance to shock, and it always pierces. So this means that you don't have to worry about doing pierce support. You don't have to worry about all the enemies not being hit. You just throw this on and you pierce everything. So I'm running multiple projectiles. Don't do GMP because you'll get a 20% downside for only 2 more projectiles. It's really not worth it. It's better off just to take the 7% hit and get the 2 projectiles there instead of 4. I'm running critical strike damage and critical strike rating because I do not have enough crit yet. So to make my cast on crit more reliable, I'm running those, and then added lightning damage because flat added lightning damage is always a boon. So running that, it will be amazing. Then going into my heal, I could actually set this because there is one instant restoration. So that way you don't die. This one, you could actually put emergency avoidance here. It'll give you evasion. That's actually a good idea. And then I'm also running Bloodthirst. So you want to run fast reload because you get a dash from it, and it also increases the damage for the next 3 shots, which you're going to be firing a lot. So you're really not using this as like a burst at all. This is just to keep up your agility blessing stacks and to do damage. So this is just kind of a small little dash. It doesn't teleport you, so if there are any walls, you're kind of still stuck in there. So, but that's what this is used for. Then Bloodthirst is to give you more attack speed. So it does give you movement speed too, but honestly I pop it to get a boost of attack speed, and it also refreshes on kill, so that's always a plus. I am not actually using a 5th here, but if you were to use a 5th, you would want to grab something that's a buff that you're not going to stand still for. It's not going to be an attack skill. It's just going to be something that's a temporary buff. So like Charging Warcry or something like that. Well, no, not that one. Okay. You could run Obscure. Blur will be nice. Blur gives you more evasion and a chance to avoid damage. I think I'd run that if you want another defensive layer. Otherwise, you could run another movement ability to actually teleport, so like Shadow Dash or Blink. That's what I'd recommend there. Alrighty, and then for the setup, so I'm running Magical Source to help upkeep my mana, and I'm also running Thunder Spirit for boosted attack speed. This is going to help with just keeping your mana up high enough to be able to keep casting cast on crit every time you crit, and then the attack speed is kind of self-explanatory. 50% attack and cast speed, you're going to love it. Then next is cast on crit. So the way they do cast on crit on this game is a little weird. It also reserves your mana as well as has a 500% cost multiplier for anything that you have linked to it. So I would recommend, and efficient cast doesn't work unless you put it first before you put the other ones on. I don't know why. That's just how it is working in the beta. Hopefully this is fixed and it actually applies all the supports correctly, but as of right now you have to put efficient cast first. I'm running Chromatic Shot because these are auto tracing projectiles, so these will consistently do damage. And then Chain Lightning. This will help you with clear, as well as it will do quite a bit of damage. If it's single target, it actually gets a boost of damage, depending on how many jumps are left. So if there's only jumped once, that's still 40% bonus damage. So those are the two spells that you're casting on every crit. And then I also have a Curse on Hit support with Seal Conversion. Because of the sealed mana, I don't have enough mana to actually use Curse on Hit too. So we're converting it over to take some of our life, and we're cursing with Electrocute. And Electrocute makes them deal or take increased lightning damage, and they're more likely to be shocked. So, and when they're shocked, characters gain base shock damage equal to 5% of the lightning damage on hit. So that can add up really nicely and do a lot of damage for you. Okay, let's go into the Pack Spirits. So if you have rolled any Pack Spirits, you're going to want Pack Spirits that give you increased projectile damage or elemental damage, as well as a double attack or multi-strike. And this one I just had because I didn't have another one that I could capitalize on. This is maximum life, mana restoration, and EXP mitigation. So you're just going to want to go ahead and grab every single one of the... If you end up with this guy too, you can get critical attacks rating. This also has projectile speed and projectile damage. So you want to look for Pack Spirits that do that, prioritize their damage and speed, and then you can work on defensive layers like maximum life and stuff like that. All right, and then also going over the hero traits. So running the hero traits, this is what I decided feels the comfiest and least worked for upkeep. So first, you're going to want to... You're stuck with getting Ammo Expert at level 15. Then you have the choice between Blade Shots and Heart-Piercing Shots. So you can actually switch this, but this gives 10% movement speed, 25% damage for every reload of special ammo. You will get special ammo so much that you will actually have this movement speed and damage up almost 100% of the time with your attack speed. So honestly, the critical strike rating is nice, but you're probably better off keeping Blade Shot. Then you get Punishment Barrage, which you also get +1 special ammo slot. Then you also get 10% chance to reload special ammo, which what special ammo does is you can socket support gems here, or support skills here, and when you fire a special ammo round, it will trigger these support skills. So what that means is if you have projectiles here, multiple projectiles, it will trigger once you fire a special round shot. If you have, you know, trying to think of something else that can be supported here. Like if you wanted to put lightning piercing there, or if you wanted to put lightning damage there, or if you just wanted to put the crit nodes there, you can. I would recommend doing the more consistent things, like if you want lightning piercing and lightning damage, things like that. I would wait till you've leveled up a bit more and you have consistently special ammo and you don't have to reload pretty much anymore, like I'll show you. Once you get to that stage, then yes, you can go ahead and put those more consistent things there. But in the meantime, I would put things like attack focus, so that way you can get focus on hits. And what focus does is it will give you increased damage, and not just that, it also gives you increased critical rating for each stack up to 5 times. And then also mark. And mark is a good one because it also increases the damage they take, as well as it marks them, making their evasion and critical strike damage taken increase as well. So I would put those in until you have a consistent array of support or special ammo, and then you can start swapping those out. Okay, and then at 62, you do have the choice between Landslide or Crushing Gale. So Landslide, projectile skills consume all ammo in the magazine. For each successful reload of a special ammo, the next projectile skill deals an additional 12% damage. So this empties your clip all at once for ammo, so you have to reload. While this one, 30% of attack and cast speed bonus is also applied to reload chance of special ammo. Since you're going to have so much attack and cast speed, you would need to take this, because this means that you'll never have to reload, and you will just completely unload all the time. And then you also have 20% bonus damage when consuming special ammo, which means since you're going to have so much attack and cast speed, you're going to get so much special ammo, you're always going to have that bonus 20%. And then the final one is never stopping or well prepared. So never stopping while magic shot is active. Each projectile critical strike extends magic shot duration by 0.7 seconds. And then you get plus 45% critical strike damage per special ammo consumed while magic shot is active. This is obviously the one you're going to take. The reason being, you're always going to have special ammo being consumed. You're always going to be critting, and magic shot will always be active. So you want to take never stopping. This one is nice if you're doing something else that isn't going to be so attack speed oriented. So I wouldn't worry about picking up that one. Okay, so now that we've gone over that, let's go over gear before we jump in and I show you what it's capable of. So, go in the bag. There we go. Okay, so you're going to want to focus on your guns. Specifically, I'm running dual pistols. The reason being, you get a dual wield bonus for attack speed while you have two weapons equipped, as well as you have a movement speed bonus, and you also just attack faster with one-handed weapons too. So that's the reason why I prefer these over any kind of bow or shield or anything like that. So what you're going to look for is basically a gun like this. 2 to 6 attack lightning damage per 15 dexterity. You want an affix like that. The 1% attack speed for every 75 stats, that's amazing. But you want to make sure it has something that scales damage with dex, because if you remember, we're scaling dex for a lightning damage bonus, we're scaling dex for evasion, and now we'll be scaling dex for the flat attack damage that it's giving us here. So, and that being said, I'm sitting on 425 dex, and every 15 dex, I'm getting about 40% or 40 times what's there. So that's like 240. It can go from 40 to 240. If my math is correct. I like to think I'm pretty good at math, but let me check here. It's 2 to 6. So it's actually 80 to 240 added attack damage. Just right there. So that 240 is a pretty big deal. And then the offhand, I had this unique gun. It's pretty amazing. Gives you 40% movement speed when mobility skills are cast. The DPS is really high. The added physical damage is really nice. You get more movement speed there. You also get agility blessing. And then when using a mobility skill, you can use 2 stacks of agility blessing to reset the mobility skills cooldown. So you see me dashing sometimes twice because of that. Otherwise, this is just to buff up my damage a little bit and give me elemental resistances across the board. It's really nice. You're going to want to put dexterity where you can. You want resistances, evasion, and health. Same here, resistances. Elemental damage is nice. Life. Basically, you just want to keep focusing on that. You want your weapons to be the most oriented for damage as possible. I wouldn't worry about anything else being damage oriented except like this, the necklace, which I do need to replace eventually. I just haven't found a good replacement for it. But this necklace can go and get something better. This is a nice body piece. It gives resistances, gives you evasion. So I'm at 5,720 evasion with just this body piece. So dexterity, critical strike damage, lightning resistance. So you just want to look for things like that while gearing. So just to look. So attack DPS, and then if we look at my defenses really quick, my evasion is at 16,000. So that has about a 60% evasion chance. So it's not too bad, not too great, but it's definitely doing the job. Okay, so now that we've gone over gearing, let's go ahead and take a look at how it actually plays. I'm level 69, so I am not endgame by any means. I haven't actually, I'm endgame, but I haven't actually maxed out the character yet, so you won't be able to see the full potential, but you see what it's capable of even at this stage. So here we're going to make sure we're doing our level challenge. I'm going to go to level 70. Okay. So go ahead and take a look at how it plays. Like I said, you're just going to go ahead and it's going to unload everything. See how I'm never having to reload? I can just keep going. It's because I socketed those in. I have to keep leveling them. Let's see. Marks applying to them. You keep your ability blessing up all the whole time. You can actually show all of the buffs if I really wanted to up here at the top. So you can see everything that's being... everything that's up there. As you can see, the clear is really nice. You're just going to have to make sure you're moving around. These guys will be the bane of your existence. I can't do anything about that, so... Okay, you just go ahead and unload on them. As you can see, you just never run out of ammo. You're always running into enemies, and you never have to worry about reloading. You're just going to keep going. And you just pop your attack speed buff whenever you want. It's not really even mandatory because you attack so fast anyways. But see how you can keep up your agility blessing indefinitely. If you can get the boots rolled really well that give you bonus damage per stack of agility blessing, that would be amazing for you as well. Because that's 8% damage bonus, I believe, per stack. So you'll be sitting at 40% damage bonus there until you get that final trait point, and that will give you 48%. So that'll be really nice. But if not, rare boots are perfectly fine. Any boots that give you the resistances you need. But you want to make sure you keep your agility blessings up the whole time. Here you go. Show this boss fight. Basically, you can just sit here and unload, dodge the AoE. I took that AoE. You can just see that the mark is staying on them. You're also getting all the focus stacks, so you're critting. See, he's just getting deleted. And boom. Like, that's all there is to it. And we'll go ahead and fight the second boss. See, he had to spawn with his friend with the shield that blocks all projectiles. It's really unfortunate. There we go. Now you can just focus on fighting the boss. Oh, the shield's still there even though it's dead. They definitely need to patch that. If you know where they're at, you can kind of off-screen them. You gotta just stay away from him while he's spinning. He's spinning again. He just slid on over to me, okay, because, you know, that's how that works. There we go. So that was kind of dicey. But basically, as you can see, it pumps out a lot of damage. You just need to make sure you're scaling the correct things. And you will do amazing. As you can see, it's a really fun build. Especially if you want to just be a Gatling gun. There's no shortage of damage. But you can get slapped by tentacles like that because you have to be stationary to fire. So just keep that in mind. I sometimes space out because I'm having too much fun. So okay. And there you go. And that's it for the build guide. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. It is a very fun build, and I hope you guys all have fun with it. Just keep in mind this is closed beta test, so if anything changes, this is for specifically the Ranger of Glory. So if you're not going the Ranger of Glory when the game releases, I can't guarantee that this is going to play the same. I can't even guarantee that it's going to play the same even if you do, because they may update something. But as of right now, this is how it plays. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. This is Faded Angelos, and I'll catch you in the next video.